Hello Pisces, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall energy for the reading and clarified those messages, as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we'll jump into in just a second. I do have the tarot deck that we'll be using already shuffled, as well as the decks that I'll be using in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. All right, Pisces. In your recent past, you have strength with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Your recent past has required you to be very, very, very strong. I feel like you have given a lot to your life, to the people around you, to certain situations, and you've received very little back. And it's almost like, since you weren't getting what you needed from anywhere, you were kind of required to tap into a really deep level of strength. But that level of strength isn't what you deserve. I think that we can be very proud of how much we've overcome and how much we're able to look back and say, like, I did that, like, I overcame that, I got through that all on my own, or, whatever the case is. But we also can recognize that that doesn't mean that we have to be that strong all the time. Because in your current energy, you have support with the World in reverse. So to me, this is saying that you're now entering a phase in your life where you are needing to recognize that you are deserving of the support that you've been giving out. You are very supported. I just feel as if you've been in this place of giving for so long that it's almost like you don't know how to receive, because you haven't for so long, and that's kind of been this cycle that you're stuck in. So then in your immediate future, you have focus with the Seven of Pentacles, because this to me feels like redirecting your focus and what you're investing in to what truly aligns with you, and ultimately opening up to change. That's the overall theme for the reading, and opening up to the idea that things can change for the better, that you can have what it is that you desire. You can put yourself first. You can choose to invest in relationships that invest in you. And I feel like for so long, maybe you felt like you couldn't because you didn't have that option, or just based on the situations you were placed in, it required you to be stronger for others than you could be for yourself. And now I feel like it's time for you to take that strength, that support that you've given out to so many people, and redirect it back to yourself. So let's start, Pisces, with your recent past. Strength with the Six of Pentacles in reverse for Pisces' recent past. This is for Pisces' recent past. Strength with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. One more. Strength with the Six of Pentacles in reverse for Pisces' recent past, please. Recent past for Pisces. Strength with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Oof, okay. Very triggering, very emotional past. But then you have this Hierophant. I feel like because of what you've been through, or the ways that you've kind of had to face certain challenges and obstacles in your life, it's made you very wise. Like, it's made you very, like, when you can just tell when you've met someone who's just been through it and has, gotten through a ton on their own. It's like, had to either grow up fast or just been through situations that kind of caused them, again, to tap into a certain level of inner strength that a lot of people don't get to, or don't necessarily, not even get to, but need to tap into in their life. And so I feel like because of what you've been through in your past, you've learned a lot. Like, it's almost like you've had a very challenging life, but that challenging life has made you, like I said, just very wise and very, it almost kind of feels like what you've been through has kind of set you up for more success than you realize. Recent past for Pisces. Strength with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Recent past for Pisces, please. Recent past for Pisces. Star in reverse. Justice in reverse. You've gotten the short end of the stick a lot, especially in your recent past. A lack of justice is very present in your life. And with the Five of Swords, it feels like it's made you, it's put you into a state of feeling like you have to protect yourself. A state of defense because of, the things that you've been through. It's like you now always feel like you have to protect yourself from the things that you have been through, not wanting them to happen again. There's a certain level of healing that's needed regarding your past. And I feel like this is talking about a specific situation. But it could also be, it doesn't have to be, it could be talking about just kind of like your past in general. It feels very vague. And I don't know if that's because it's so specific that I can't be more specific in a general reading, or because it is very vague because it has happened. It's like different situations throughout your life that has happened that way. But, take it as it resonates for you. I just definitely feel like it's made you kind of hopeless. Like the Star in reverse, it's almost like it's made you, because you've gotten the short end of the stick so much that it's kind of just like, that's what you expect. You expect to always be the one taking care of others. You expect to always be the one that gets screwed over in the end. Or, I don't know. Like it's just kind of like, it makes me sad for you. But I feel like that's what this reading is about. Is understanding that you don't have to, it doesn't have to, like that's why you have open up to change. Like things can change for the better. Recent past for Pisces. Recent past for Pisces. Recent past for Pisces. Recent past for Pisces. The Five of Wands. Just feels like there's been a lot of chaos and like strife. That's the word that keeps coming to mind. Especially in your recent past, but specifically a lot of chaos. And it's almost like you're being called to more peace. I want more on this Five of Wands though. Clarifying this Five of Wands for Pisces recent past. Recent past for Pisces. Okay. Clarifying this Five of Wands or Five of Wands in Pisces recent past. The Judgment. But there's this chaos. There's a truth that needs to be seen. Okay, I'm going to move forward because I typically get clarity as I move forward anyway, so I am just going to go ahead and clarify your current energy. You have support with the World in reverse. This is for Pisces current energy, please. It is so cloudy today. That's why the video probably looks a little weird. I'm heavily relying on my ring light for light today instead of my windows. Current energy for Pisces, support with the World in reverse. Current energy for Pisces. Support with the World in reverse for Pisces current energy. You have spent too much, way too much time in places and spaces where you are undervalued. And that's why things continue not to turn in your favor. You know, the universe won't allow us to settle and be at peace in places where we're not supposed to be. And I feel like maybe you keep experiencing things falling apart, or you keep experiencing, like I said, like chaos or mistreatment or whatever the case is, and it's the universe trying to guide you to better for yourself. Now, when we have spent so much of our life in a place of not receiving, of being the one to give and overgive and get the energy sucked out of you, when we spend so much time in a certain way of living, it becomes really difficult for us to believe that any other way of living is possible. So we almost start to settle or try to settle into that way of living, the chaotic, energy draining one, because we think that that's as good as it can get because that's all we've experienced. But one of the things that we have to make sure we never do is limit our belief of what's possible for us in our future based on what we've experienced. Now, it's human nature. We're going to tend to believe in alignment with what we've experienced. If you experience relationships falling apart, you're probably going to struggle to believe that relationships aren't going to fall apart, right? So I feel like this is why in your immediate future, it's almost like redirecting your focus and the energy that you invest in to places where you are valued. Because you are more valuable than where you've been giving your energy. Current energy for Pisces. Current energy for Pisces, please. Yeah, see, there's an opportunity for you. But I almost feel like you're not being honest with yourself about where you're at. And what I mean by that is sometimes we're so afraid of change and the unknown associated with that change that we choose places where we don't belong, where we're undervalued, where we're not treated well, because we think that the situation we're in is better than what could happen if things change, the bad that could happen. And that is our fear of the unknown and our fear of what could go wrong that gets in the way, when in reality there are just as many things that could go right as there are that could go wrong. So I feel like that's why you have this open up to change and understand that we all have the same amount of potential in this life. We have the same amount of potential to reach the level of success that we desire, the relationships that we desire, the level of abundance that we desire, whatever the case is. We all have that same amount of potential. The difference between the people that get what they desire and don't get what they desire are the people who believe in their potential. Now, the difference is a lot of people have had different lives. Like some people are grow up believing that they're capable of anything, and they've experienced secure relationships, and so it's easier for them to believe in what they're deserving of and what's possible for them. And some other people have experienced trauma and things going horribly wrong for them in their childhood and have adopted very different beliefs that make it a lot more difficult for them to believe in that level of potential. And so what I'm trying to get through with this message is understanding that what you have experienced in your life is absolutely no indication whatsoever of what is possible for you. And the more that you can start to open your mind to believing that what it is that you desire is possible, like on a soul level, desire to be treated well, to be loved unconditionally, to be supported financially, not necessarily by someone else, but by the universe or by yourself. You deserve to have the things that you desire, but so much of you has been stuck in believing that you deserve lack, or that lack and loss is all that's possible for you, that it's almost like a part of you has started choosing it, or certainly has settled for it. And that's the cycle that you're stuck in. And it's not like, shame on you, Pisces, you've been doing something wrong. It's, I want you to see that you have more power. in this situation. No, you don't have power over other people and over other things and even necessarily over outcomes, but what you do have power in is where you give your energy to, and making sure you're giving your energy to what aligns with what it is you are deserving of, which is difficult to do, especially if you don't really know where to start. But I do feel like you're stuck in this cycle of being a support system and of giving to everything and everybody else around you, and not being willing to understand that you can and are just as supported as the support and love and energy that you bring to the table. It's just you haven't seen it yet. So it's hard for you to believe that. Current energy for Pisces. Current energy for, okay. Put down the burdens of others. Put down the burdens of others. I don't know what that little hand move I did there was, but putting down the burdens of others, the 10 of Wands in reverse. I want a little bit more on this. You cannot save or fix or change anybody. You cannot take on other people's trauma and burdens as your own. Cannot take responsibility for other people's healing. You can't. I feel, though, as if part of you feels as if your value comes from the sacrifices that you make. And something I want you to try to learn to see in yourself is that you are deserving of what it is that you desire and deserve for who you are right now in this moment, giving nothing. Nothing that you produce, nothing that you provide is where your value comes from. Your value comes from inherently being a human being on this earth. You are valuable, you are deserving, you are loved for that and that only. Now, so many of us grow up believing that over giving or always being a support system for somebody else or taking care of other people, a lot of people start to get their value or believe that their value comes from what they are to others instead of for who they are to themselves, just who they are in general. And I feel like that's kind of part of what is kind of happening here, is there's a part of you that believes that if you're not overgiving and if you're not sacrificing your well-being and your emotional and mental well-being, that you're not deserving of good things or of abundance or security or stability or love or whatever the case is. And I feel like that the universe is asking you to open up to changing the way that you perceive that, because you are valuable for who you are and you deserve everything that you desire because of that, nothing more. You don't have to take on the burdens of other people. You don't have to always be the one saving or fixing or sacrificing for others in order to be valuable. In fact, we can only show up for this world in the way that we are meant to the extent that we show up for ourselves first. So if you're wanting to be more for this world, you got to be it for yourself first. Immediate future for Pisces. Focus with the 7 of Pentacles. Redirecting focus in your immediate future, Pisces. Focus with the 7 of Pentacles. One more. Immediate future for Pisces. What does Pisces need to know regarding their immediate future? The fear. Okay. Your ego. So, sun and moon. Your ego is the primary survival mechanism that you have. Your ego's sole purpose is to keep you alive, to keep you living. It doesn't care if you're happy or not. It doesn't care if you feel good. It just wants you to be alive. So what your ego prefers is what it knows it can survive. Your ego wants you to choose relationships that you're used to, even though you're used to getting the energy drained out of you. Your ego wants you to choose overgiving in a career that you don't love for pay that you deserve way more than. Your ego wants you to stay in the lack and loss and survival and limitations that you're used to because it knows it can survive it. Regardless of the disappointment, regardless of the negative feelings, regardless of the way that it makes you feel, your ego wants you to stay there because it likes to know it can play out exactly how it's going to feel and exactly what that outcome's going to be. And so sometimes we're not aware of this. Sometimes we're not aware of how our ego keeps us stuck in situations because it's afraid of change, even the good change. Because your ego goes, if we do start to invest in ourselves, well, we're not used to that. We've never done that before. I've never given myself energy. What if that leads to ending up alone and homeless and broke on the street? Like, your ego is going to absolutely jump to extremes and say, if I can't predict it, it's probably going to be bad. And what you're needing to see is that has actually kept you in places where you are undervalued. You are so used to being undervalued, Pisces, that your ego actually prefers it because it is what makes it feel safe and comfortable. Yeah, it sucks and it feels horrible and you hate it, but your ego loves it because of the predictability aspect. So in your immediate future and moving forward, and if you watch me, you know this, but if you don't, I don't predict future outcomes. It is my goal to tell you what you need to know about your immediate future so that you can create the best possible outcome for yourself, since we have way more power over our circumstances than we give ourselves credit for. And so what I'm seeing is, there's this need to start to choose and focus where you give your energy to, regardless of the fear of what could go wrong. Now, that might seem difficult at first. Of course it is. The reason that most people aren't happy or living the life that they desire is because most people are living and investing from a place of fear. Most people are choosing to play it safe in their career, in their relationships, because they fear if they don't settle that something better is never going to come along. And I think that the coolest part of a spiritual awakening and learning that the universe is supporting you on your path and that there is divine guidance available and that the life of your dreams is absolutely possible as long as you're willing to work for it, and invest in it. The coolest part of all of it is just knowing that there is more that is possible for you, regardless of what you have experienced. And I feel like it is time for you to start to recognize that is the case for you too, Pisces. All right, immediate future for Pisces, please. Kind of an intense reading for you guys, but I like it. I feel like it's very positive. It's like it's time for you to start to give your energy to you, to what you want, what you can do. And when I say that, you are going to have 1 million reasons why you can't. Well, I have kids and I invest so much time and energy into them, I don't have enough to give to myself. Or, if I don't work this job I hate, I'm not going to have the money to pay my bills. Or I don't have the time, or I don't know where to start, or whatever the case is. I promise you, there are always solutions to every single obstacle that appears in front of you. And just, when we face those obstacles with fear, we're going to say that obstacle is proof that I can't have what it is that I desire. We're going to fall back into old habits, to what's comfortable, to what's predictable. If we can choose to face those obstacles with faith and a solution-oriented mindset, then we can say, you know what? I don't know how I'm going to work through that, but I know that there's a solution for me out there because I know I deserve more of than what I'm experiencing right now. And when we choose to see things from that perspective, that's when things can actually change for us. That's when the universe does have some breathing room to work. Immediate future for Pisces, please. I want you to do, well, not me, universe, you have 4 swords with 5 swords, a little bit of reflecting on how you are living your life in survival mode. How you believe that you have to fight tooth and nail for the things that you need and desire, how you believe that you have to cling to what doesn't serve you out of fear that nothing better is ever going to come along, how you live in lack because you think that that's all that's possible for you. I want you to do some reflecting on how you live your life in survival mode, because I do feel, sometimes we get so comfortable with our survival that we stop believing that an abundant life is even possible because we're so used to surviving. But life isn't about surviving. You're supposed to be having a good time. You are supposed to be enjoying your life and having cool experiences and, feeling purposeful and feeling like you're in alignment with everything that you desire. You're supposed to be happy. But so many of us have spent so long in a place of unhappiness and in survival that we start to believe this is all there is to life. And so we start to almost act as if that's the case. We experience the extent of what we believe is possible. If we believe that more is possible for us, we're going to choose to act in a capacity of that belief. And we're going to actually start to see change happening and more cool things happen and the support of the universe guiding us in certain directions. But when we don't believe it's possible, we're not even going to try. We're going to stay where we're at because we're going to say, this is all that I can have. This is all I can experience. And so I feel like, doing some reflecting on how you are kind of existing a little bit in survival still, like if you feel like you've kind of broken out in some ways, but you're still stuck in others, just kind of looking at, the best thing that ever happened to me on a spiritual journey is realizing I never ever had to worry about money again. Every single payment that I ever had to make, every single thing that I needed in my life has been financially supported regardless of whether or not I knew it was going to come from. The other cool thing is knowing that I always have had the help and the guidance that I have needed when I have needed it. Now, there might be time leading up to that where I have no idea how things are going to be okay or where I'm supposed to go, but every single time I needed it, like even if it was like 0 seconds on the clock, like in that minute, in that last second, I would receive, whatever information I needed. So opening up your mind into believing that you are supported and guided by something bigger than you. And maybe you already have a connection with a spiritual connection of your own understanding, universe, spirit, God, higher self, whatever resonates with you. And if you don't, I highly recommend understanding that you are supported by something bigger than you and you deserve to experience that support so that you can create the life of your dreams. All right, one more. Immediate future for Pisces. And for those of you who are thinking it, I know that I talk fast. Sometimes I just get excited. Immediate future for Pisces, please. Aha! 4 of Wands. With the 7 of Pentacles and then the 2 of Pentacles. It's literally like, and there's the cycle that's closed because then you have the world upright and it's in reverse right there. The way that the cycle it can close for you is when you start prioritizing the life that you could have. And you stop prioritizing or settling or investing in the life that you've been living that you're obviously not happy with, especially if you've made it this far into this reading. I think that it's important to note that I don't want you to think that I'm saying that the life that you're settling for, like that it's your fault. It's all your fault. Like I'm not saying it's all your fault that, you're not in a better place. Or obviously you're going to experience, the reason that we have certain beliefs about what's possible for us is because of what we've experienced. Obviously, there are things that can be in our way and people that can treat us poorly. And yes, all of those things, no, you're not deserving of, but you cannot control anything outside of yourself. So this is about, again, giving you the power that you have and being able to help you recognize that power so that you can create the life of your dreams, because you are so much more powerful than you think and then you've been giving yourself credit for. And I feel like this is time for you to step into your power and start to use that to create the life that you've been holding yourself back from because you didn't think it was possible. Or you didn't think, like, for some reason for you it wasn't possible, or that you couldn't have it, or whatever the case might be. All right. I really enjoyed this reading, or am enjoying this reading, because we're going to hop on over to the extended. This is going to be more the coaching aspect of this reading. So there's the higher, kind of higher level, what you need to know right now. Now we're going to dive into like what you need to do with this information moving forward in order to align with your higher self. Thank you so much, Pisces, as always, for your support of my channel. I obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Pisces, I wish you absolutely nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Pisces.